All right, a little bit of a false start there. I'll take that one. Take the 5 yard penalty, but here we are trying again on Wednesday, and we're going. It's the Vikings and the Broncos to start. I believe we're going to have a couple other folks join throughout the process, but a bit of a different theme this week. Um, Things that we're ready to say uh, are either hot takes that we need to either admit we're too hot and it's time to let go of, or hot takes that no, that's actually what's happening right now. Like for example, Puka Nakua might actually be a really good football player and might be the waiver wire stud of the year. Like I'm ready to say that. So things like that would have been hot takes a couple weeks ago or over the summer, but now are real life. But again, real life. How's real life going for Bill?
Real life is pretty good. I am gearing up for Halloween, which then kicks off all the holidays. But this is the fun part of the year for me. How about you?
Yeah, this is true. It's when all the family get-togethers start happening, and I spend so much time over at my in-laws' house. But it's fun. All right.
I love it.
So things that we're ready to say. So again, I gave the example um, earlier there. Do you want me to start, Bill, or do you want to kick it off?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, so I'll start with the the hot take I made at the pre start of the season rankings, having a certain team miss the playoffs that others thought were just going to be in contention for the conference. That would be the Denver Broncos. I had them missing the playoffs, and they are the last undefeated team in the AFC. So I'm ready to say I missed the shit out of that one.
I forgive you. No, what are you gonna do? I've been tanking the last couple of years, and I made a huge, 180 reverse course, and I was adamant all off season that I was going to be competitive and win the division, and I made so many moves back and forth that it was easy to understand both directions.
Yep. All right. Let's hear one from you.
All right, so me, um, the Patriots are not the league's best tanker. I really thought that it was going to be a situation where there was going to be no stopping him from doing whatever he had to do to get the 101, and he didn't do what I expected him to do. And props to RJ. He legitimately is like the slow burn points reducer. Like it's kind of fun to watch him do it because he just sells at the right time, and he's so patient with it. But I think that RJ would hold the title now over Patriots.
Hey, I mean, and you got to give good credit to the Titans. They're still defeated, and they aren't too far behind the Eagles in points for right now. So things break a certain way, they could stay in contention.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I feel like 250 points is kind of a hard one to overcome, but I mean, you never know. RJ may very well do the trade deadline buy. But we'll see. We'll see. The fun part is they don't play each other, which is unfortunate, but also fun because it's just like them battling against each other invisibly, basically.
That would be interesting to see if they would do a race to the bottom to try and get down to single digit points.
Yeah, like RJ's not going to sell anybody on his team anymore. I don't think. Like not the big names. Like Chase is staying.
Yeah.
And that's apparently that's all he has.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, that is all he needs. He needs to sell Justin Simmons, but that will be a trade deadline move. I'm almost certain. Someone will pay $15 million for him.
Yep.
But yeah, it's great. I love watching these. I love watching the tanking battles, and not being a part of it is very odd. It's a weird feeling.
Agreed. Yeah, being in a potentially competing position this late in the year is a new feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing I'm ready to say: the NFC is basically the Giants' victory lap, unless Josh Allen gets hurt.
You mean you think he's going to go undefeated? Or is it more like you think he's going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl?
And he's gonna. It's all the above. He's going undefeated. He's going to run through the NFC in the playoffs, unless something happens with Josh Allen. I mean, for God's sakes, like Devin Achane out of nowhere starts blowing up, and then Achane's out, and Harris has been underperforming, is on bye, and what happens? Chuba Hubbard has a fun.
Yeah. No,
So-
it's a fun watch. I was certain that his bye weeks were going to catch up to him, and they all happened this week for the most part. But he plays the Commanders, and I don't know. Does the Commanders have enough this week to do anything? He has no quarterback. He has Antonio Gibson at running back. So no, Giants will go all the way to Week 12 against the Chiefs with no losses probably, and that's probably his best chance to actually catch a loss is Week 12.
Yeah. So
That's crazy. That's crazy. What has his closest game been? It's been 40 points. Nope, sorry, 26 points against the Niners. Wow.
That's the weird thing about the NFC. I mean, I'll get to that one on a later point
Okay.
here, but
Yeah, that's nuts.
it's a weird NFC this year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so my next one with a specific team, the Raiders are more legit than I expected them to be. And I'm actually kind of nervous for this weekend. Like I genuinely did not expect them to be 7-3. I did not expect them to have a winning record. And I think that was kind of a generalized consensus. But the unfortunate part is he still may not make the postseason. And he might be the team that has the winning record and doesn't make the postseason. But yeah, it's crazy. I did not expect him to have the record he does. And I mean, when you look at his points for, obviously it's not like super great, but even so, like his
I'll be
team
honest.
overproduced.
I need to go back and see how he started the season. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a point, I think when Mike Williams got hurt, where I think I had suggested a fake trade of a bunch of hurt / growing stuff to the Raiders for like Lamar Jackson and some of the pieces that are good right now.
Yeah.
Thinking, hey, this is automatic slam dunk. He's got to do this. And instead of going that direction, he's 7-3 and right in the thick of things.
Yeah.
The real pain in the ass is going to be in the AFC.
Yeah.
That there's 10 teams, basically 7-3, 6-4 or better, and there's 7 spots for the playoffs. So this is going to get ugly real fast.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Like I definitely did not see this coming, and like he beat the Packers, like last week. He literally
Yeah.
beat the Packers last week.
I
And
know.
I'm like, what the hell happened here? And like I said, it gives me great pause on this weekend. Like I was pretty confident heading into last weekend that I was gonna go undefeated into the postseason, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like he's rolling out 250 week after week after week. I've got a number of
And
buys
he's
this week,
shopping.
and
He's buying.
yeah, well, he's
He's
trying.
actively trying to buy.
Yeah, he's trying to. We'll see if he does anything by tomorrow night or by kickoff on Sunday or Monday. But like, it's just incredible. Like his team is just incredible, and like this is like the karma of it all is going to be Jonathan Taylor is going to go off for like 45 points this week, and I'm going to lose, and it's just going to suck.
So this is a good lead in for my next I'm ready to say it, and now I'm glad RJ has joined us for this too. If everyone kind of embraced their role where they are in the league right now, this could be the most fun trade deadline we've ever seen.
Oh, you mean
Because,
spoilers versus tanking and stuff like that?
well, what I mean is, if I look at teams that are 4-6 right now, which are, it's a really tough position, and you're probably not making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Jags are 4-6. The Bills are 4-6. The Dolphins are 4-6. Just are 3-7. So someone's got to win the East, I guess.
Right.
So
Right.
they're not quite out of it, but they're still 4-6. The Falcons are 4-6. The Lions are 3-7, and apparently seem to be hitting every single player who is getting injury luck right now. The Commanders are 4-6, and the 49ers are 5-5.
The Niners has a chance to catch the Rams still, though.
Okay, but
But they
again,
do. I mean,
the
it's
Commanders.
Gonna be one of those things.
The talent, if you look at the Commanders, the Falcons, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Bills, if you look at what's available for teams that are probably not going to make the playoffs, if they went and tried to put that in the market and actively shop that to a situation where outside of them, there's still 10 teams in the AFC trying to make the playoffs, and probably about 8 or 9 in the NFC. So you've got a pretty big market of buyers and a lot of really intriguing assets to try and sell from those teams.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to say it. Guys, this could be so much fun if everyone logs in, sends a couple trades out just of players that, maybe aren't good fits on your team right now, but could help, bring some assets back. Let's get a little activity here and see if we can, pump the trade numbers up here, because this could be a lot of fun.
There's a lot of teams that have started to do well that still have assets to trade away. Like Raiders has a winning record. He has a handful of picks that he can get rid of. Browns has like the stockpile from last year when he thought he wasn't going to do as well. So there's a lot of stuff that teams can go out and get a hold of. Like it's not like most years where all the contending teams are exhausted of all their like draft pick resources early in the year.
Yeah, and it's I like the concept, Mike, because like this could be like perfect opportunity for like, instead of waiting on comp picks and thinking you're going to get all these players as comp pick material, just go sell the guy with 1 year left for a third. Just go do it. Like, even if he's worth a second, if you're not finding it, just sell him for a third and just acquire assets, and then just use your off season wisely.
Right.
Like
if Falcons, for example, got into it here.
Yeah.
Let's look at this real quick. Richardson's about to go on IR. Sell Minshew to a QB needy team. I would be a perfect person to try and sell him to if I could take him, but I think I traded him to Falcons, so I can't. But someone like me, get picks for Minshew.
Yeah.
And Zeke's bouncing back. Etienne, it's a perfect time to sell him. He's still cheap. He's flashing. You could get serious value for him. Same with his receivers. He could break this down into, a complete reformed roster for next year in
Yeah.
an incredibly strong position.
Yeah.
And we always used to say, hey, that's, future Brett's problem. Future Brett will have to figure that out. If he gets active in, a couple of weeks between now and the trade deadline, he could put himself in a really fun position for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be really great. And, but people just think they have a shot. Like they look at their schedule and they don't pay attention to bye weeks, and that's unfortunate. People just keep shooting. They wait until week 9 and then people run out of assets because they're slow to respond or they're outbid by another selling team. And it's, get it done a week early. Get your win now,
Yeah. And again, I'm also the other team I really would love to see jump into the mix here is the Jags have made, clear that they're building around Mahomes. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh Jacobs is a great sell right now. There are plenty of teams who really need a running back of that caliber, and that $16 million price point isn't too bad. Calvin Ridley has been a great story, a little bit on, a little bit off, but a great, piece to go sell. Let's see. Hunter Henry has gotten a ton of targets for New England. Granted, the quarterback situation is a little bit shakier than it started out to be, but still a fun piece. And then, again, just the name Bosa is going to get people to sit up and pay attention, along with Judon. So, again, I know Judon's injured, and, it's probably a good piece to hang on to rather than, trade out of right now. But get Bosa out of there, get some of these offensive players out of there, and just you don't even have to load up on picks. Like go for the prospects right here. Like your team's ready to roll once these prospects get a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
So just recycle the prospect, keep yourself in a cost neutral position, and get ready for next year. And again, activity, he can do that, but the deals aren't going to come to him and prostrate themselves in front of him.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be fun if we can get some activity from these guys. I think and that's the problem, is getting the activity going.
Yep. All right, RJ, you've been getting carried here. What's a hot take that you had or you had heard from the off season or earlier in the season that you're willing to say that you either agree with or is completely faded away?
I mean, first one that comes to mind is I said that the Cowboys could in some way threaten the Giants in my division, and that's just not. I've seen some. Just look at the points for. Like Cowboys is closer to Commanders than they are Giants. There's a lot of different scenarios like that I didn't expect. I didn't expect the AFC West or AFC East to just be bad.
I did not realize that. Again, there's, I guess, a scenario where if Patriots went down and bought a team, they are only 3 wins outside of first place in the AFC East. It could happen.
So I laughed at myself thinking about this, but Dolphins was in the Super Bowl. Was it last year or the year before?
Last year.
Okay. And it's like you would assume a team that doesn't really change much would be just as good, but also like there's the casualty of they just didn't do anything.
Yep. Which again is a good lead in, not a plant. I know we're not in order here, but I'm host, I don't care. Another one of the things I'm ready to say is it's time for the Dolphins to trade Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of good weeks here. His value is still there. He's still being treated at that elite quarterback value. Very likely he's going to be in the Pro Bowl this year. But for now and for the time that he's there, he could be a very wonderful contract situation. So if you're going to get the most of that combination of contract, production, youth, etc., it's now. And again, 4-6, you're tied for the lead of the AFC East. You move him to the right team. Again, some of these teams that have pieces and really built around here, you're golden. You're set up, and you potentially even put yourself up far and away in the AFC East this year. So, really can define your franchise with that trade. But if you're going to make the trade, now's the time to do it.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah. Bills just looks like a better overall team right now. So concede the season and just acquire assets, better assets, break down Jalen Hurts. I like him. Do we need another one?
Yep.
Okay. What have we gone over so far? When I got in AFC West, are we telling Raiders to buy stuff or sell stuff?
Bill was saying that he was surprised and a little threatened by Raiders, and that was a surprise to him. I basically ceded the NFC to the Giants, barring a Josh Allen injury. But a couple of particular teams that we've suggested. It's time to tear the team down or make some moves here.
Was Ravens one of them?
No.
I don't know. It might. I love his points for, but I hate his win-loss record in the division. So it might be time to get rid of some things. Still keep the vast majority of the team intact, but start moving off some of the older players.
Do a little bit of a pivot.
Yeah, maybe a Logan Wilson is more valuable to somebody else with that contract. Nothing too crazy. Maybe, I don't know. I really like Rashid Shaheed's age, but that contract, maybe get rid of that while he's still valuable.
Yeah, let someone else use their renegotiation on that.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Let's see. What else did I have? I think this is just kind of implied, and I will say it out loud, but I wasn't ready to say it before the year started. I kept thinking that the class of the NFC would kind of raise the bar above the class of the AFC, but based off how the year started, the AFC is definitely the superior of the conferences to the NFC right now.
Yep, I can agree with that. The NFC used to be able to boast the higher scoring individual team, like the team that would go undefeated, but now Bill makes everybody look like fools, and now the AFC just has the best regular season team and for them the worst playoff to have to go through because all of them are ridiculous teams.
Again, that's the thing. It's you look at what's going on in the AFC North, and then Bill's undefeated. The Chiefs are 9-1, and the Raiders are good. So just those two divisions, you have 7 of the 8 teams that are legit. And then that's not even thinking of the other 2 divisions winners being tossed in there. And don't forget, the Jags are, on paper, a pretty good team.
Yeah. I didn't hear what the specific part of this was, but it kind of leads into my other one. The 5 seed is going to be the best seed to have in the AFC playoffs because they're going to play the winner of the South, and they're going to cakewalk through that weekend.
Wait,
And they're probably going to be the team that plays spoiler the most out of all of them.
so let me think about this. So 1 seed gets a bye, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. 4 seed would be the Bills or the Dolphins right now, probably.
Right. And then the 5 seed at current standing is the Chiefs.
Oh, so you're talking about who gets to bounce the?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Colts.
No. The 5 seed is the best position to have unless you have the 1 seed.
Yes.
Because you're paired with the worst division winner.
Right. I mean, the 6 seed won't be bad either because they're going to play the South. But even so, I'd rather be the 5 seed.
Hey, man. Colts are a decent team. Baker can get on a roll.
Yeah. That's a hilarious thing. Like, they, again, the big marquee matchup of the weekend last weekend of division leaders was the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think everyone said, wait, what?
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird to assume both of those teams were at the top of the division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually just too much karma involved to allow that to happen, but nonetheless. Any other takes you guys are ready to, step up on or step back from?
It's not something I firmly believe, but I believe that the Justin Jefferson injury will cost the Bengals the division.
Yes, but it's potentially saving Chris $20 million on a Justin Jefferson.
No, yeah.
extension.
I mean, that's future Bengals problem, though, right?
If he stays hurt enough to not get Pro Bowled here, I think Vegas is not taking any bets on how many years Jefferson's extension will be. The answer will be 6.
Yeah.
He will max it out to 6 because he's going to be keeping Justin Jefferson forever. Which is just fantastic.
Yes, he should.
I'd be so upset. He should be tagged for Pro Bowl, regardless. Perpetual Pro Bowler.
Exactly.
I mean,
just that
if he
good.
comes back in 4 weeks, he still might make it.
Oh, yeah. What is he, like third or fourth in receiving right now?
Pro Bowl is based off of total points or average.
12 points.
So he
yeah.
is. So right now, Justin Jefferson is 9th. Missing 4 weeks probably puts him down into the 20s.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're telling me that people like Rashid Shaheed and Jacoby Myers and Christian Kirk are going to score more than him season
By
long?
the end of the year, probably.
Like he's going to have to sit like 6 to 8 weeks for that to happen. Like he's got that much of a lead right now, or another AFC team has to go get one of these receivers.
Yeah,
that's I think the more likely situation.
Right.
Yeah.
These flash in the pan kites hold, and an AFC team goes and buys them, and that causes him to jump in front of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. I'm looking back at it, and I think it's. Was it the 3rd or the 4th that we did our last podcast? I think it was the 3rd, because I think we were talking about RJ potentially having a Mike Williams deal done in the afterpod, and I think that's the first trade we're starting with here. So 18 trades over 2 weeks. So again, 18 trades, yes, but it's over 2 weeks, so definitely a little bit of a slower pace than usual. So like I said, it'd be fun to see us pick it up here. RJ goes shopping for injured player that he can store for next year when he might actually want players to score points for his team. So giving Broncos second, the Chiefs 24 fourth, and the Chiefs 25 third for Mike Williams.
Yeah, I love it. I think it was a great deal for both sides.
And I mean, Raiders gets pieces to go buy stuff with. It's the right kind of thing because now he can use those picks directly to go buy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out how I feel about the next trade. Even 2 weeks distant from it, even the performances we've seen. Jake Browning, Kenny Pickett, Chase Edmonds, Bryson Hopkins, Irv Smith, Brian Cook, and Darnell Savage for Kirk Cousins, Miles Adams, Jamal Adams, Bears 24 third, and the Buccaneers 25 fifth.
I really hate this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how this came to pass. Like, maybe this was like a Kenny Pickett is a better option than Kirk Cousins for the Saints. But I don't know.
I mean, I actually don't really hate this for Bucks.
So
Well,
I've been an owner of both these quarterbacks, and let me tell you, it is impossible to trade Kirk Cousins.
Which is so crazy because he's so fucking productive.
And the way Kenny Pickett looks, he's probably in that Kirk Cousins category, even if his contract's better.
Yeah.
It is impossible to trade Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
If you put out there, hey, would someone give me a first-round pick for Kirk Cousins? The answer absolutely should be yes.
Mhm.
But the person says, well, is he really going to be starting next year, or where is he going to be starting? And
Yes, he's going to be starting next year. It's just a matter of where.
I'm saying this from experience.
No, I get it.
It goes into, well, then if it's a 1 year rental, then I can't trade my first for him. So will you take a second? And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah.
But it's to get Kenny Pickett for that is probably more value than you would get, pick wise. So I like it. And again, just somebody fire Canada out of from a freaking catapult, please.
No kidding.
This is getting freaking annoying.
Bucks needs to get off of that Jamal Adams contract. He's useless at this point.
The Chiefs acquiring Wan'Dale Robinson. This makes me smile a little bit because I think one of the trades that really helped Texans build up some value from when he put his flowcharts together was when he got Wan'Dale on the cheap from Chiefs. And now Chiefs has reacquired him for, I'd say,
probably equivalent. Like, because I think Chiefs paid a first.
Yeah, he got drafted as a first. I think he traded him for either a late first or a player who went kind of in that range.
Okay.
Again, I'm sure Texans has the flowcharts he can show us, but nonetheless, that happened and that Romeo Okwara was involved makes it probably the most goose trade I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know how I feel about Wan'Dale, but I don't know how I feel about anybody on the Giants this year.
I think that was a good trade for Chiefs. I think that was a good trade for Bears because he gets back his second.
Gets his second back, so
yeah. So now he has his first and his second. It's awesome. It's actually working out for Bears. I like it.
Yeah, I like Bears reloading on his own stock.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then Cardinals trading Nick Mullins for Tim Boyle and a fifth. I guess Buccaneers, now that he's got Cousins, just to play it safe in case he gets moved or something crazy shit happens. Go get
Nick Mullins is on IR.
He's been on IR for a week. So
he has?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just went on IR. Shit.
Yeah.
So the comments made sense, but now not anymore.
Right.
Then you guys and your damn kicker trades.
I paid up to get my kicker and punter when I needed them.
Yeah, like there should be picks attached to this. Like there should be a fifth swap or just a fifth added to the higher scoring kicker. I don't like this.
The sheer
Yeah.
disrespect. Get off my lawn.
To the
Yeah,
like most of the time with the tanking team, like I'm not giving away points to a better team
yeah, you pay
for
for it.
free. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's just a fifth, like kickers aren't worth a ton, but like you got to add at least something.
Whoever's making that offer needs to be adding the picks.
Yeah.
Regardless of what side it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Better trade.
Moving on up, Michael Thomas and the Bears 24 third for Alan Lazard. I think savvy move by the Packers to pick up a pick here. I kind of see these assets as equivalent for this year, and then God knows for either one of them going forward from there.
Yeah. I'm curious why Bucks did this.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the Packers side of this. I like getting Michael Thomas in the third.
Yeah.
Although Lazard is 3 years. Yeah, it's fine. Both sides are fine, but I prefer the Thomas.
Well, I mean, let's also be honest of how these players acquired in this position. The Packers got Lazard because he was a Packer wide receiver.
Mhm.
Now he's no longer a Packer wide receiver, so it's time to trade him.
Fair.
So this next one, I was shocked to see this come through. Chris Wormley, Shaq Leonard, and the Chiefs 25 third for Travis Gibson and Cole Holcomb. I get it's what both teams should be doing. Raiders selling injured and picks, and dumping contracts for points and productive players at those positions. But if you ask me who Raiders' favorite player was on his team outside of Jonathan Taylor, I would have told you Shaq Leonard.
Yeah.
I got Shaq Leonard from him in a trade when I sent him, I think, Jonathan Taylor. And I think for the next 6 months on a weekly basis, he was asking me for Shaq Leonard back. I'm finding a way to get him back in some way, shape, or form. So to see him move him off of his team convinces me that he is serious about doing something this year.
Well, yeah, but Shaq's healthy, and they're moving for Cole Holcomb.
Yeah,
that's the part that's interesting. Like Cole's doing just fine, but like the name value of Leonard alone would warrant more than that.
Yeah, see, but that's what you're going off of. It's like you're going off of Shaq Leonard, the guy that led the league in tackles and was this prolific playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like a shell of that.
Yeah, he's just an injury prone, he's almost.
He's not even the best linebacker on his team.
Maybe not.
He might be the worst starting linebacker on the team.
All right.
Maybe.
Then we've got basically generic prints for Jerry Jacobs and a swap of fifths. Body for Cardinals getting bought out of Craig Reynolds for River Crawcraft. Really?
Craycraft.
Yeah, but I mean that's the best you get for Craig Reynolds. Wow, I should have done better. Then Terrell Bernard for Brian Asamoah.
So I actually asked Cardinals about this. He said that this was part 2 of the former deal with the Raiders from with the Shaq Leonard side. They just couldn't do it at the same time because the game had already started. I think Buffalo played on Thursday.
Well, good on them for sticking to it because standalone, I think everyone was trying to figure out what the hell was going on there.
Yeah, so that changes it. So that means Raiders gave up Wormley, Shaq Leonard, and Asamoah for Holcomb and Bernard.
Fair enough.
Eh,
I mean, that makes it better.
Yeah.
fact. All right, Packers giving up Mekhi Blackman, then swapping.
Was it a taxi steal?
For Trenton Irwin. Who cares?
Okay.
Brown swapping DeAndre Carter in a second for Igney Westbrook at a third. Good for Chargers for getting anything with a 2 attached for it for Igney Westbrook, even if it took a third in addition to it. Just bravo.
Yeah, at this point.
Dante Stills for a corner. God, D tackle's getting moved for all sorts of stuff. Broncos flipping Quan for a third. God, freaking Quan Alexander. That man's value fluctuates more in leagues than anyone's I can think of.
I feel like it was too low.
Traquan Smith for Cedric Wilson in a swap of force? Really? And then, I heard Royce Freeman got signed to either a practice squad or a 53 or something. So, for
He got elevated.
Yeah, he's got a real job now.
right now. For whatever that means, I guess.
I mean, he's gonna run for his he's gonna have his annual 12-point game and then disappear again. But
exactly.
a fifth's a reasonable price for that.
Yeah,
it's exactly the right trade. He's going to see 20 to 25 snaps. He's going to score whatever he's going to score, and he's going to show up in maybe 3 games for you this year. A 5th round pick is the right price to pay for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are back in the podcast swing of things here. I think maybe next time we'll ask some of the broader group if they have some hot takes they wish they could have owned up to or taken, a victory lap with today. But, we'll save that for a future podcast. But appreciate you guys joining. And now we get to the trades. Talk to you guys later.